there's a forum called statueforum.com, which I guess is like figurines, figmas, fucking that kind of shit. I mean, I was like, oh, statue form. What does that even mean? And then I look underneath the logo at the top of the screen, and it says statues, busts, and pop culture talk. And it's like, oh, okay, that's what it is. But their forum, statue forum, comic heroes, and then comic book art slash commission slash sketches.
Figmas are kind of like stands combined with action
Yeah,
figures.
yeah, they're sort of like a halfway between thingy.
They're like they're easily posable action
I'm not
figures.
really into them myself. This forum is clearly very old though, and the reason why I bring this up, of course, is there's a thread from 2014, so it's 5 years old, called Ethan Van Sciver Problem. I guess not exactly 5 years old because it's from December 2014, but it's called Ethan Van Sciver Problems, and this gets into the point that we've been bringing up in several other videos before, but we never went through the thread in a video. We've done it on our Discord. Again, if you want to keep up to the fucking minute, you should be on our Discord. But the this thread we went over it months ago on the Discord, and it starts off with some guy saying, "Has anyone else paid Ethan for a commission and still waiting for it? I paid for mine back in summer and was told by back in summer, so that's like fucking 6, 7, 8 months after this guy made this post, or before this guy made this post. He said, I was told by him it would take a day to get it done. Well, here we are, almost January, and I've received nothing. No work in progress pics. Very rarely will he even or ever answer messages. So the main thing about this is it shows a pattern of behavior with Ethan. People are complaining right now that Cyberfrog is very late, and it goes to show that that wasn't new, and it wasn't a secret. This is
Yeah,
this is basically
where
old
was this
news.
post from? Yeah, this post is from like
It's
this is
from the
like
end of 20. The thread was started at the end of 2014, and it's about a 30-page thread. Is pretty big, relatively big, and
so that's about 5 years ago.
yeah, and
Well, almost 5 years ago.
certainly it was yeah, certainly before fucking Comicsgate. It was before even we uh try to work on the idea of what Comicsgate, the superior version of Comicsgate, known as Comic Liberty, which ended up going nowhere. But
Because they weren't ready for it. They didn't
yes,
deserve it.
and
They
there's
still don't.
still they still aren't ready for it. But the point is here. This guy says, I sure could use that money. I paid him for extra Christmas spending money. I'm glad he's enjoying my money, and obviously it's too late to get PayPal involved because, as they point out later in this thread, I'll skip over that, but there's like a 45 day chargeback period, and so if you've already waited a few months, it's too late for that. He says, I'm not sure what to do. Is anyone else experiences with Van Sciver? The first reply says, I've heard too many Van Sciver horror stories. He's one of those artists I would never get anything from. See, this is from 2014. This is before Comicsgate, before Cyberfrog, before uh, even before Richard like glommed onto and became just another ass licking fucking sycophant of Ethan, and before War Campaign and all that shit, and before Comicsgate would have a conniption anytime you had a legitimate criticism of Ethan. All of these fans,
Which is all the time.
these guys are fans. I also want to point out the first top two comments. The OP said it's his join date is May 2008. Now you can go fucking check this out if you want. Statueforum.com. Well, I'll put the link in the below bar. I should, if I unless I forget, but it's statueforum.com/showthread.php ?t equals 148544. You can go see this thread. It's several years old. It's
You can
by
also probably find the
long
link in our
time.
Discord.
It'll be on our Discord. If you've been on our Discord, you've already seen it many times.
Feel free to join our Discord so that you can attempt to hate follow us and perform gay ops.
But then get fucking completely red sunglasses beyond the red pill. If you're only merely taking the red pill, you're not even close to being on our level. We've swallowed the red sun. Well, we didn't even have to swallow the red sunglasses from They Live. We were born like that. We were just born with it.
Born with them already in our stomach.
Yes, exactly. But the my point is the OP here isn't just some guy who registered to start complaining. The thread's from 2014, but he joined 2008. That's over 10 years ago. He joined this
Does it
forum.
say there how many posts he had
It says
or have?
527, which isn't a
Yeah.
ton, but I mean that's over a hundred.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
pretty
like
regular.
average.
But
It's average.
the first guy to reply, his join date was October 2006. So he joined even sooner. It says he has like 4,100 posts. And he says, I've heard too many Van Sciver horror stories. He's one of those artists I would never get anything from. And some people are like, oh, what's going on? And someone says the position on
He's
EVS.
also one of those artists I would never get anything from because his art's not that good.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I ain't impressed. If you want to impress me, take the wheel for a little while, motherfucker. But he says the positive on EFES is goes to a ton of shows. You can find him, ask him both, what's up with your piece? Yeah, good luck with that.
you can constantly go up to him and ask him why the fuck his comic isn't out yet
Yes.
or why he didn't finish his work yet.
Yeah, I'm sure Ethan avoids fucking conventions, or he probably doesn't need to go to conventions anymore, of course, because like, oh, that's for fucking people who haven't raked in hundreds of $1,000s or scammed people for tens of thousands more for variant covers. That's how much of a scam artist piece of shit he is. He actually makes variant covers. What a piece of shit. But anyways,
Didn't he also personally complain, not to fucking sidetrack
yeah,
us
I don't
again,
want to get
but
derailed too many times in our videos. Get used to
he
that.
personally-
If you're watching our videos, get
Yeah.
used to us derailing our own videos. Get over it. Get over it.
suck it down.
Suck a cock. But what were you gonna derail with? Make sure you stay on track and
fucking-
derail.
Yeah, he's complaining about that exact thing.
Yes, Ethan Van Sciver complained about variant covers, and then he went and made his own for his own comic that he didn't need to make variant covers for.
Not just he made
just
his own.
to whore for more
He
money.
He made 3 of them now at
Yeah.
this point.
No, it's like 4. One of them's not even for a comic he's selling. That's how fucked up. And
Wait. He took a Patreon to pay for a fucking
it was a kick fund
variant
me.
cover, whatever the fuck.
A kick fund me.
He fucking to pay for.
Yeah, he took money for a
variant
variant cover
cover
that he made for a different comic that he already got paid to make. He got paid.
It's not even his comic.
Yes, it's not his comic, and he got paid by Dynamite to make the cover, and then he took $20,000 on fucking Indiegogo just for the cover that he had already finished, and he posted it. He was like, "Here's the cover. It'll be on this fucking.
The cover got a TV in it.
It'll be fucking Limp Bizkit versus Vampirella." Yeah, it costs $20,000 and it ain't got like a TV in it or something. I'm very old. Nope.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I love the fucking
$20,000.
Not to derail your derailment, but I just love the fucking dismissive that Damon Wayans just going, nope, when fucking Bruce Willis asks him, "The $600 pants." He's very Bruce Willis-y in that scene. $600 pants. They ain't got like a TV in them, and Damon Wayans is just like, nope. He just watched his girlfriend machine gun to death.
Yes. First off, though, they're leather pants.
Yes.
And secondly, despite not having a TV in them, they're not $20,000.
Yeah, they're not $20,000, as opposed to what Ethan Van Sciver took
and it would
money
be like,
for a variant cover.
Yeah, you know what? It's even worse than that. It would be like if somebody else bought him the pants, and then he demanded $20,000 from the person who gave him the pants to take the pants.
I love how we're belaboring this fucking metaphor for something completely unrelated to what we're talking about, which is
genius metaphor.
Genius point. This great fucking entertaining, funny point. But anyways,
you don't understand how bad it is. It gets worse. It got worse.
Speaking of getting worse, post number 6 in this thread, in a 30-page thread. Post number 6 is from a not just a moderator, but it says super moderator, and it says the guy says, "I lost all interest in his art years ago when I had similar problems with him. By the time I finally got the art, I had to sell it because I couldn't stand to look at it." That's how like nauseating it is when some guy is just fucking you over, and it's like I don't fucking like this shit anymore. And so,
When he's gonna be a fucking utter cunt like that.
yes, exactly. That's yeah. It's sad when you have to look at an artist, and that's why we're going to go over the behavior. This is going to be a very long video, but we're going to go over the behavior of the average superhero comic fan, or cape cuck, if you will. How
And we don't just call them that because it's some
yes,
pejorative.
it's not just a pejorative; it is a literal description of their behavior, documented as we've documented before, and we will continue documenting in this very video. But the thing is, and I'm not saying that these people are bad people, but you will see their behavior as this thread continues. But this guy says, but well, my point was that it does suck when you like an artist and then they do something that makes you realize you have no reason to like them, that they aren't good, that they're no good as people, that they're complete cunts, and that you can't like them anymore. You have to take an artist that you like and not like them anymore. It's painful. I understand that. That's not good. That sucks. And I don't blame anyone for getting RSG'd that hard. That means red sunglasses, as in the red sunglasses from They Live, the hardest
Red
pill to swallow.
sunglasses. Duh.
Duh. But somebody replies to the mod saying, Ken and I were in the same boat at the time. I kept my peace for about 3 months and just couldn't stand to look at it and sold it. I saw him at Heroes Con the year before last one, and he only showed up the last day and sat around strumming on a guitar the whole time. Jerk. Somebody else says, sorry to hear about that. I've had issues with him in the past and refused to get anything from him again. He's on Facebook. Just try him there. As if. And
Don't
then
bother.
at the end of the first thread, though, Ethan shows up and just says, which commission? Which is a little weird because people sort of ignore him.
Where the fuck did he come from?
Yeah, he just pops up out of nowhere. It's like, why was he ignoring that person? And they actually get into this in this thread. Why was he ignoring that person? But all of a sudden he shows up in the thread where people are shit talking him because he's all about public relations damage control instead of just doing the fucking work, as we will see. And again, this is an example from years before Comicsgate and his new Cyberfrog shit. But somebody else replied. The next post is Adamantium Plus member. I guess that's like not a mod, but they joined in 2004. It says it almost has 10,000 posts. Holy shit! But he says, man, wouldn't this be nice to be able to see an artist here try to explain how their schedule is more important than the money they take for our commissions, and say it will be done in 90 days, and turn around after 6 months and say, sorry, I don't give refunds for late work. I live by taking jobs and finishing on time. In 14 years of being a contractor, I've yet to not complete a job on time and budget. Imagine that. And let's see. Let's scroll through some more of the second page because I think there's another point somebody make. I got original art from Ethan way back before he was in the name. Is now just starting on Impulse. Only cost me $50 for a beautiful page.
$50.
So that's somebody sort of making an excuse for Ethan, but they say it was from a long time ago. So they're like, I know that time can change, plus add in the success he had, being a C-lister at DC. Good job. Suckaka. Somebody else, though, replies saying, I had a lot of trouble with him. Very late. Did not enjoy the experience for many reasons.
A little bit too toothy, I guess.
I guess a little toothy, but the OP.
A little toothy, no mouth action, very little web action.
Show me some of that web action. And so he got web action. He's humbled. Ethan clearly showed up to this thread humbled and chunky.
He came pre-chunky, especially chunky.
He was already chunky. But the OP shows up and says, Ethan's contact me through the forum, but really the fact they can't narrow down what commission I'm talking about makes me think he has collected a lot of money from people and is leaving them hanging with almost zero communication and false promises. I'm currently private messaging 3 different people who have all said they've received hardly any communication, and one goes all the way back to March, which is before fucking this guy. about this point in the thread is the beginning of it's like January 2015, so it's like a month later. Um, the OP guy also says, then I see people on Facebook posting sketches he's done for them at conventions. Meanwhile, people who have spent literally hundreds of dollars on a sketch are left high and dry waiting 6 months to a year for a drawing from Van Sciver. It's not right. A little communication
Not
update.
even a page.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even a page. Just a drawing.
Yeah, they want a sketch.
Going to DeviantArt and having to wait 3 fucking years for like your OCDNS Furfag character,
yes.
Whatever the fuck.
Your Sparkle Wolf. You want to get a sketch of your Sparkle Wolf in black and white, and it's not fucking inked or anything, just a sketch, and you had to wait 3 years, and the guy just cuts off contact with you. I mean, I guess that is more likely on DeviantArt and that kind of shit. Why is Ethan behaving like that?
Some pretty unprofessional shit.
Yes. People bring up the 45.
I really don't know. How the fuck did he even get away with that?
Yeah, here's the thing. How did he get away with this before Comicsgate, and then Comicsgate happens, and everyone ignores that Ethan had a history of this? People knew about this, and nobody spoke. Comicsgate, why are you so suspiciously silent about corruption? I thought you were against corruption. I guess not. I guess when you say all you wanted was better comics, it just goes to show the emptiness of your belief, Comicsgate. Your empty beliefs, your empty little principles that never meant anything. Even the people at the beginning of Comicsgate, nothing you said meant anything. Even the people who left, like fucking, oh, I left Comicsgate, like last year. I don't give you any credit. Fuck you. I'll give credit to a couple people. One of them is Tim Lim. I don't even give credit to Nurkish because Nurkish never said he was in Comicsgate. He knew ahead of time that it was fucking embarrassing. And Tim Lim didn't really say I'm for Comicsgate. He just seemed to generally be in favor of the idea. He didn't, come out and say, "Oh, I'm for this."
Tim Lim's putting out work. In fact, Tim Lim put out what would this be? 3 comics at this point?
Yes. Maybe 4,
he's done
actually.
Space Force and then fucking My Hero Macadamia.
They're good. They're actually good comics, too. That's the other thing. As opposed to all these Comicsgate comics that are fucking awful and stupid and embarrassing, Tim Lim's comics are fucking actually fun. They have really great art, and then they're funny. And I know that.
And then guess what? We got them digitally.
Yes, we got them digitally. But here's the thing. I also got a physical copy. I got Trump Space Force physical copy. It was very expensive. It was more expensive than I would want, but it's also kind of a once in a lifetime thing. It's like I'll get one.
We're helping to support somebody we want to support, and believe me, if I want to, I'll do that.
Yes, I'm not.
I have no problem.
Yeah, we're not against that.
Going down and fucking throwing down some extra money for a physical copy. If I think it's going to help support somebody I really like.
We're bringing this up more in relation to our other videos, the things we've brought up in other videos. So we're almost in response to our own responses of ourselves. Anyways, another moderator shows up in the thread, says Ethan is a good artist with a solid fan base that deserves more and will continue to get turned off if this trend continues. Now that's a little suspicious because they certainly should have, but then they didn't. They didn't. His fans didn't get turned off. In fact, they became rabid and psychotic. Measurably mentally ill, quantifiably mentally ill. Ethan's fans
like
at Comicsgate.
Comic book fans in general, where they get shit all over, just right down their throats, and they just always accept it.
And they ask for more.
At no point do they ever demand better.
If they pretend to demand better, but it's a fake demand, which is even more depressing.
They killed Superman off like 3 times, or every 3 months for 10 years throughout the 70s.
Yeah, and then
at no point did any of the fan base say, "Hey, this sucks."
And then in the early 90s, they kill him.
I'm not buying these comics anymore.
This time, it's supposed to mean something, and they're like, "Oh, this will be worth a lot of money someday." They're willingly being scammed. They're scamming themselves.
because it'll be worth a lot of money, which it never ever will be.
Congrats, Comicsgate. You played yourself. Anyways, people talk. Somebody brings up the idea of like doing an automatic chargeback on the 44th day and warning an artist, on day 44 of the PayPal payment, I'm going to automatically charge back if the thing's not done or if you don't show me anything by then. The OP says that's a pretty good idea. Unfortunately, it's too late for me to do that. I don't understand why he owes people a commission from a year and 1 month ago, and he accepted payment for me and other people months later and still nothing. That's bull crap. Seems very greedy. I'm reading this to point out how these people are really turning on Ethan, by the way. And this guy says he needs to start issuing refunds now or take a few days and get them done. Now that's also very weird how these people, again, 2015, they're not asking for refunds for Cyberfrog. They're asking for refunds for commissions. Somebody else says, I agree, you should bring resolution to this situation. Offer refunds for people waiting so long. That's a good idea. Some other people bring up other artists. There's not a lot of other artists they even have examples that they can bring up for this. I had a weird exchange with EVS a few years ago. Very condescending dude. That's kind of a baseless just out of left field accusation here, but at the same time, we have seen him behave that way to other people on his Indiegogo who are like, hey, I want this, where's the comic? It's been so late. I've paid you good money for this. And then he gets kind of cunty. He does this really weird thing where he tries to act positive, but then he acts condescending at the same time. Like in the same paragraph, like sometimes in the same sentence. It's fucking bizarre and kind of funny. Anyways, somebody asks, did you feel the pieces where you had to do this or fucking I forgot what the I forgot what the context is, where you had to do this were any way inferior to other works you've seen by the artist. Of the two I got refunds and later came back. Absolutely not inferior. Some people are still saying, oh, he was late, but I liked the thing that he did. It looks like that's for another artist, though. They're referring to another artist getting, so the guy says, as for EVS, I would avoid him as he appears to be habitually very late if he delivers at all. In some states, what he's doing is considered a crime. Is that true? Oh my goodness!
Oh wow!
Oh my goodness!
Oh, it's a crime, but who cares? Because he's Ethan Van Sciver, and he's the leader of Comicsgate. He's Caesar.
Uncle Daddy Caesar, Ethan Van Sciver. That's very heterosexual to call him that, by the way. That's not gay at all. But somebody else says the fact that he still pulls this crap while he's publicly called out a few years back amazes me. Yeah, somebody brought up at this point another thread was calling out Ethan Van Sciver for taking money for commissions and then cutting off contact, just pocketing the money. All people are looking for is a little communication at the very least.
There's a few examples. I don't know if you already read them because I'm fucking.
Yeah, the thread has some good other examples.
Right. Did they mention that some people just gave up?
Yeah, that's another thing that gets mentioned in this thread.
He didn't do the work. It's not like he got halfway through the drawing and was like, oh, they asked for a refund or they just forgot and I never finished it. So I guess this half-finished drawing is just going to go in the shelf somewhere. No, he didn't bother for a single second to draw anything. It's not half-finished. It wasn't nearly finished. It was completely untouched, but he took the money.
Yeah, he took the money and just hoped people would forget. And the reality is, most of them give up and are just like, well, I guess that's money I lost. And some
almost like he's hoping people do that.
Yeah, and really all they can do at this point is complain. Here's another guy who says...
they're asking for refunds.
Someone else says, why would you think Ethan would care? Probably somebody who tried to do a little white knighting and be like, oh, Ethan, he's a positive guy. Somebody who's, probably a white knight for Ethan. So this guy says, why would you think Ethan would care? He seems to have a legion of unhappy fans who have paid him a ton of money and is either unable or unwilling to get the pieces done in a manner that most people would feel is timely. He has had this issue for years. This is, again, 2015. It's like People talk about how Mark Waid was known for being a temper tantrum throwing little crybaby for years before this. Ethan has been known for being a flake who steals money from commissioners for years before, even before this 2015 thread. And they say it's very sad that he treats people like this. A real shame. The mods have been having a discussion thread about to document artists who have problems. Yeah, there's a link to another thread here that has a list of artists who have been commissioned. Almost all of them are like, oh, this guy's good, this guy's good. One of the only people who has negative comments on them is Ethan Van Sciver and like 2 other guys out of like a list of 100. Someone says, personally, I think lumping every artist who screws around with paying customers into one big messy thread isn't anywhere as useful, daunting, or noticeable as actually having the individual artist name in the title of the thread. Just my opinion, which is kind of a good post. It's a good point. Someone else says, I agree. Somebody else says, I agree.
Wait, what was that? You read that one a little fast. And,
yeah, they say lumping basically making a thread that has all the artists who have been shitty. That's not as effective as saying, like, for example, a thread that says Ethan Van Sciver ripped me off. They're saying basically that is much more effective for getting the message out there.
I've actually never seen this thread that you're talking about.
I haven't heard of it either. And I remember last year, like at the beginning of last year, thinking, oh, Ethan's okay. He's a fucking comic artist. And now he's supporting the cause. I had no idea he was a scammer, and he has had other problems. The thing is, he's also had like false accusations thrown at, like SJWs, or like, oh, this guy's a Nazi. So of course
that's natural. Standard operating procedure.
Social justice always poisons the well, and that makes it worse because then somebody can get away with being a complete piece of shit because social justice falsely accused them. That's why another reason why social justice are mords, which again we can't explain what that means because we would be banned. It's the worst swear word ever invented in the history of human speech.
It's kind of genius like that.
Yes, it's. Or for us, it's a Tuesday. But
for us, it's Tuesday. But yeah, on top of that, but one of the things I especially hate about him is the way that he basically attacks independent creators like him,
or leaves them to hang out to dry.
But I mean, it's like other people who is like, hey, can I do this thing? I want to try and make this thing. And he's like, no, because I'm fucking Uncle Papa Ben Caesar fucking...
Yeah, and Comicsgate fully supports that behavior. They're not... Comicsgate isn't like, hey, Ethan shouldn't do that. We'll support indie creators. Instead, they fucking back that up and double down on somebody else's behavior. Comicsgate's doubling down on Ethan's behalf. And it's because they were always like that.
The industry. He's harming the fan base.
It's already over too. It's as we late, called it a long time ago. But
this was a chance for comics to be saved.
Here's another thread. Comics
are in trouble.
Yeah, and that's over. It's fucked. Comics are fucked because the people who showed up to save it were just more scam artists.
Or we fix it. No, it's fucked.
Yes, or in Richard's case, literal sub 70 IQ retards.
That's exactly the problem. Is again, this is why you don't want leaders for your fucking thing. Because if you do end up with leaders, you'll very likely end up with either a retard or a scam artist,
or both.
People were suggesting back in the Gamergate days, like, oh, the Sargon of Cod, he's great. We need him to be our voice.
Yeah, how'd
it's
that
like,
turn
no,
out?
Don't do that. Almost everyone responded with, no, the strength of Gamergate is that we don't have any leaders. We're not beholden to the fucking...
They don't have a top of the pyramid that can be attacked and knocked off. That's the point.
The rest of the pyramid.
And Comicsgate never learned... They not only not learned that, they didn't even consider it, and I remember bringing it up, and people in Comicsgate getting pissed off at me for even saying it. That's how weak Comicsgate is, as their principles and their emotions. Their emotions, their intellect, all of them are weak.
Gamergate didn't do this, and Gamergate was right. And it's like, this is different. How is it different? Because
it's for stupid people.
Video games. This is comic books.
Because
that's not an argument.
Video games are $1 billion industry. Comic books are $1,000 industry. Comic books mostly are for fucking complete retards.
Yeah, that's the thing is video games, they could have actually weathered this shit or even gotten worse and still survived.
Yes.
Still be fucking eating Hollywood's lunch. Video or comic books. Comic books cannot survive.
Yeah, comics are held up by the fucking movie industry.
Comics are already dead. Comics are a dead industry.
Yeah,
in
they
America.
died. In fact, they died years and years ago, before we even started pointing it out. That's something we were late to the fucking ball on.
Before I even knew it was a problem.
And
I didn't even know Marvel went bankrupt in the fucking, what was it, 1999 or something?
The late 90s, Marvel went bankrupt. And that's the era that fucking literal retard Richard C. Meyer, and also literal retard and inferior artist, mediocre at best artist John Malin wanted to take comics back to. Good luck. Good luck with that. We will enjoy. Trust me, we greatly enjoy watching you fail at your stupid ideas.
Dixie Cup Meyer.
Somebody links to another thread, and somebody else a moderator replies, EVS promised to stop doing commissions in that thread. Sounds like he kept that promise, but continued to collect money for them. And then a slamming head against wall emoji.
It's not exactly keeping a promise.
Ethan, as a commission artist myself, I ask that you get your shit together. An artist of your caliber makes us all look bad when you drop the ball like this. Well, some things still haven't changed with that, apparently.
Oh, well, that's also the thing, is he's a comic artist pro.
Yeah, comic artist pro who stole money.
If anything, if there's one thing I seem to be noticing about all this shit, it's that the pros are scumbags, and that these indie people, the small time people, are the ones you can really trust, or at least
sometimes
you're more likely to trust.
More likely,
find them to be trustworthy.
It's so fucking questionable at this point. You have to fucking preface that with 1,000 disclaimers and caveats. And it's not even worth it at this fucking point to even defend indie creators. But the thing is, we know several indie creators who make good shit. We know webcomics people who make good shit. And we fucking hype their shit all the time.
Material. Their art is head and shoulders above the shit that's getting published in American comics nowadays.
I follow several porn artists on Twitter whose art is trillions of times better than Ethan Van Sciver's. And they're just as sketches, like as doodles. I would even,
black and white.
This is almost tough to say.
Not in color.
But even Tank's art is better than Ethan Van Sciver's. Oof for gang. Yikes-arino.
Yikes-arino. What? This coupon good for one free. Yike.
Oh, who provides that? Who's providing the free yike? I want to find the guy providing the yikes. There's going to be some real hard times for all these butt scratching, egg hatching,
pencil-necked
Capecuck geeks. But
grape-eating freak, scum fucking pea-head with a lousy physique.
Ethan Van Sciver certainly has a lousy physique.
Well, no shit.
Well, no shit. Anyways, somebody else is about 9 pages in. Somebody else says, I think enough is on this topic. People have made their point and said their piece on this issue. It's best to put it to bed. Somebody else replies saying, I have to respectfully disagree. Nothing has been put to bed. I've said nothing.
Wait, what was it? What's somebody saying something about being?
Yeah, somebody's basically saying, "Okay, you guys have said enough. Time to stop this thread." Basically, trying to do the white knighting by ignorance of Ethan Van Sciver,
pulling the handbrake on an actual discussion that you have no part in.
On the truth, basically saying, "Hey, stop telling the truth. It's hurting my feelings. I want to be friends with Ethan." This guy wants to have an in with Ethan, so he's gonna fucking show up and be like, "Hey, I told these guys to stop." And so, but this guy says nothing's been put to bed as commissions are still outstanding. But this guy says I haven't spoken on the topic yet, but I too have been waiting for an EVS piece since November of 2013. So this was
even older, but I mean,
2 years before this thread. So fucking, he says, paid for, shipping included. Wow, What was that remind me of? What frog-based comic does that remind me of? Shipping included, as he promised to complete it the following week in November 2013. Numerous conventions have been attended by friends and members of this community willing to pick up for me, and still nothing. The only responses I've gotten were due to his representative getting involved. He was taking a CGC sketch up at the time. Knowing that numerous collectors were owed commissions, myself included, he promptly replied to email promising quick completion, only to back out on those promises and continue to not respond to emails once the heat died down. That is Ethan's tactic. That right there, as this guy completely lays out, is Ethan's tactic is to promise, 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 and wait for you to forget.
You can't call it like laziness anymore.
Yes,
it really is just a fucking scam.
Yeah, it's openly hostile. It's openly manipulative.
It's theft. It really is illegal.
Yes.
And not just because he's taking money and forgetting like a lazy ass jerk off. He's basically stealing.
Yeah, and he's just pushing. He's placating you, and then waiting for you to just sort of stop asking. This guy says, I'm more patient than most, as I'm fine with the long wait period. As long as communication is consistent, I'm not even talking weekly. One email per month checking in is usually my standard. Just dropping a note to see blah, blah. I'll be attending blah, blah, con, blah, blah. I currently have 4 outstanding commissions longer than a year. One is approaching the 4-year mark, but the other artists have communicated with me. In the 4-year case, this artist completed 2 amazing pieces for me in that span. On the topic of wait period, that's a little fucky, but if they're doing other stuff for you, it's not like they have completely fucked you. That's a weird case. He doesn't name who that artist is. It doesn't seem to be Ethan. And he mentions other
I got
artists and stuff.
From somebody who we're basically friends with. That we had a show we had on one of our shows, and she was pretty late.
Yeah, she was pretty late, but she was also not drawing anyone else. See, that's the thing. She wasn't drawing other people's stuff and being like, "Oh, I'm still working on yours."
It wasn't that expensive. I don't remember how much it cost.
It was pretty cheap. It was a little like $20 or something like that.
It wasn't like an atrocity. Yeah, it was something like $25.
And
it's just like a single character.
The idea had to end up changing, but then she did finish it.
It was something simple, and it
was pretty good.
It did take a while,
a bit objectifying.
I can also see, nice, which is nice, nicely objectifying. But I could kind of, I saw, she was busy,
yeah,
and I figured that,
and not just giving excuses.
Understood.
She wasn't blowing off the responsibility. She was actually she wasn't doing much drawing. In fact, I follow her still, and she doesn't do much drawing to this day, which is kind of a shame because I like her stuff.
She like designs her own cosplay or some shit too, which is like
no, I think she does like Etsy stuff where she does like fucking needlepoint or some shit. She's a girl. What is she? A fucking girl? Oh.
Oh, you're fucking going around being a total girl.
You know, another thing, I did want Pleb to do like some kind of sketch art piece that I could throw into literally #1, but she ended up not doing it. The thing is, I was like, hey, I'll pay you, but I'll pay her if she does it. And I've done, I've gotten drawings from her before, and she didn't do it, and it was a little disappointing. But at the same time, Pleb does not do much drawings these days either, which I think is a huge shame because she is an indie creator. She did a lot of comics back in the Tumblr days that got attacked all the time.
Mm-hmm. Her art is really good,
and we always defended her because we knew she needed public support. And, Comicsgate never gave her public support.
Yeah, how about some kind of apparatus that's now worth money in the 6 figures from nothing?
Yeah.
You step up
in exchange
and be like, here's
nothing.
Some distribution. Here's a little bit of attention, so maybe people will get some commissions for you.
Imagine such a thing. Can you imagine such a thing?
How about that?
It was, somebody...
Doesn't that sound like even remotely not a stupid idea that even a retard would figure is a good idea?
Well, you can't say even a retard because then Richard is a retard. He probably wouldn't come to that conclusion. He is, but then again, maybe he's a super retard, hey, everything's like super. It's all fucking about superheroes. So Ethan's like, Richard's like a
Hey,
super retard.
you like superheroes, right? Well, your superpower is that you're super retarded.
That's Richard C. Myers' only superpower. In fact, it's the only thing he's good at is being a fucking retard. But anyways, yeah, somebody else replies saying, "I agree. This isn't a case of a witch hunt getting started before there's real proof that the artist is guilty. It seems pretty clear that Ethan is bad news. No offense, Ethan. I'd love for you to prove everyone wrong. I dare you, in fact." And then Ethan, of course, didn't prove anyone wrong here. But he
Oh,
did.
you mean he didn't even at least show up? Because you would think at
He
this
did
point
show up.
it's like, this
That's
is bad
the
news.
fucked up thing.
I need to respond
He
to this.
showed up, but he did what everyone else pointed out, is that he showed up to placate people and push them off until they fucking stopped bothering him.
Well, that's not very fucking ethical or credible,
Yes.
or it's not very kind. It's not very helpful to the community or to his own business sense. You would think that would be a really stupid business decision to just be like, okay, I'm going to fucking milk these people for all their money and not deliver.
Yeah, a lot of these people are pointing out.
He's already wrong.
This is
he already fucking worked as the artist for DC. So it's not like he has no ability to draw.
Yeah, he's a proven artist, so there's no reason for him to fuck people over like this.
Say what you will about the quality of what he makes. He's able to do the work.
Somebody points out in Ethan's eBay feedback, somebody leaves a review saying, "Never sent item, never responded to emails, had to open a case to get a refund." When you have to open a case to get a refund, that means you're being ignored, and you're only fucking gonna get the money if you make the artist face consequences. That's really scummy. But yeah, a lot of people, the guy who's like, enough on the topic, a lot of people, it's one post after another saying, no, this isn't enough, this is all justified. Another person says, I agree. Another person says, well said. And, a lot more stuff agreeing with that and pointing out. There's too much tomfoolery from some artists doing commissions, enough that I decided to scale back on them, although I'd rather not. Somebody says that they disagree on the enough is enough point. EVS owes many people commissions for far too long. Somebody says, any update?
I just don't I can't imagine, because that's the thing is, we've been paid a few times to do some work for people. They paid us to review specific things, and I would always at least try to add as much information as I fucking could.
Yeah, somebody else says, I've been waiting
At
since
no
December
point was I
2015.
ever like, okay, I have nothing to say about this. You pay me $30 to review a comic you want me to review. Here's a fucking 5-sentence or 5-word review.
Well,
I would never do that.
We didn't get paid $30, of course. We got paid a few bucks. I think it was like 5 to 10.
Yeah, I forget.
And we would give
it wasn't much. It was never much, because
we wouldn't just give some review either. We wouldn't just give a review. We would fucking, make it funny. I remember for one of those, for I think the Supergirl one, you threw in references. You threw in references to fucking Sonichu. That was like a panel of Sonichu that was like identical to the panel from the fucking Supergirl comic that you were reviewing. That one was really funny, I thought. So we would throw in, stuff like that, our own flavor, as opposed to the typical Comicsgate approach to a fucking review, which is just like, ooh, this comic sucks, this is really stupid, look at this really bad part, just nothing really that interesting. Yeah, I don't like this.
This art is bad, look how bad the art is, here's a picture, and then you show a picture, and that's it. I have a picture. Don't think you can talk about the commander.
Because he's my pal. Here's a picture. Anyways, somebody else says he's owed my brother since 2008 for 2 commissions he paid in advance for. That is fucked. EVS is bad news.
He just late about that shit.
Yeah, he takes money and delivers if at all years later. Why would you wait 5 years? I know from the other thread the comment was made with the value is worth
people out of money and gets away with it.
Yes. Fucking put his brain to sleep. If you get a piece of artwork from
Too
EVS, you
late.
know it's going to be extremely
Too late.
detailed, so that's no
Somebody
excuse for what he
already put
does.
his brain to
Yes,
sleep.
yes, that's right. Why is this guy not referred to as Ethan Van Scammer by now? See, they're just straight up calling him a scammer, a thief. They're saying that what he's doing is illegal. Somebody else says, because that would be an insult to the real Ethan Van Scammer.
Some real person named Ethan Van Scammer.
Somebody else points this out.
Apologize to Ethan Van
This
Scammer.
this is really fucked up. Somebody says Ethan was pivotal. Ethan was pivotal in getting Rob.
He's pitiable.
He's pitiable. But they say Ethan was pivotal in getting Rob Granito. I don't know who that is, but getting Rob Granito banned from conventions because how he's treating artists and copyrights, etc. Now, what does that even fucking? I don't even know what this is about. Ethan got somebody else banned from conventions. What does that remind you of? Now, again, I don't know what the story is, but who does that? Who goes around getting people banned from conventions? Why would Ethan do that? Who commits that fucking behavior?
What kind of group of people would ever engage in shitty behavior like that? Shitty, unnecessary, ugly, stupid behavior.
Somebody else
that should not only be not tolerated, it should be combated.
Somebody else, yeah, he's basically, again, Ethan has been an SJW even before Comicsgate, since fucking 2015.
This is very much what a lot of the right wing is also guilty of. Basically, boomerist fucking concepts.
Very boomer.
It's like, I'm going to get you in trouble with the law because you made me feel bad.
Yeah, it's very
my feelings trump your facts or whatever.
Barcelona. It's a Barcelona boomer. Very cringe. Yes. Oh look, the ocean. The somebody links to an eBay and said Ethan had time to do this, and they're linked to it. I guess a fucking picture that Ethan was selling on eBay. One of the mods comes back and says, seems like he's always chasing new money at the expense of the people he's already taken money from. I'm guessing he lives a lifestyle that he really can't keep up with. That's really weird. The thing is, he might not.
Lifestyle is certainly the right word.
Yes. Yeah, lifestyle. Maybe alternate lifestyle is the more accurate phrase. But the thing is, it actually doesn't exactly look like that. It looks like he didn't blow the money and keep taking more because he needed more. It looks like he just pocketed the money and then placated fans because he knew superhero comic fans, if you play as, again, this thread is going to eventually show. Like here, the reply to that, though, says, fuck this guy, considering all the people who've waited ages for pieces, can't even make an excuse at this point. Plain and simple, the man is completely untrustworthy. He agreed to do a piece for me on 2 consecutive occasions and didn't deliver when I told I would be picking up a prepaid piece for a friend. He and his now ex-wife accused me of trying to steal the artwork. He has zero financial motivation. Again, these are all individual, unsourced stories, but when there are this many, especially from people who are still making excuses, they are still saying, hey, I like his art, he's cool. I'm not reading most of the part where people are like, oh, at least when you get his art, it's really good. I'm skipping over a lot of that.
There's no Comicsgate element to this. It's not like this is after Comicsgate.
Yeah, there's no Comicsgate for this.
Retards are fucking coming out of the woodwork to make up lies.
Yeah, there's no SJWs showing up here and saying, oh, this guy's a Republican, he's a Nazi. They're saying, hey, I like his art, but I paid him and he fucking ripped me off. Somebody says, has anyone thought of starting a fan page on Facebook, something named along the lines of Ethan Van Sciver owes me a commission, something like that, blah, blah. So when people search for his name on Facebook, it will have that page come up as a result. Someone says, I like that idea, blah, blah. I don't really like that, but
maybe.
But who cares? I mean, it's about a few years too late for that. But at the same time, even Comicsgate can't seem to fucking admit to this. I had a terrible experience with him, really unenjoyable. Just an update, as the OP says, just an update. I did receive a refund from Ethan. Now, this was several months after the thread started. He told me he would get a piece in a week. 2 rolled around, still nothing. At that point, I think he knew I had it, and he refunded me right away. The whole situation has been a big headache, and I'm relieved to get my money back. For anyone still waiting, I suggest getting a refund. Whatever you get will not top all the stress you've had for the time you wait.
Yeah, good luck with actually getting. This is the first story I've heard where somebody actually got their refund.
Yes. Here, somebody says at the end of this page, though, I wonder how many people just give up and let EVS keep the money he stole. And somebody replies saying, I'll bet most of us would be surprised, and I'm sure that EVS would not want that information known publicly. There are way too many people out there that will go away quietly to avoid the drama, try and forget the bad experience, be embarrassed if people knew, etc. Smith. But that is a very good point, that these are just the people who asked for a refund or complained or demanded it. Imagine all the people who are like, I can't get him to reply, oh well, and just give up and go away. Now, of course, those are potential customers that Ethan alienated, but clearly Ethan's not hurting for these potential customers because he is suckering in so many dumb fucking rubes right this second. So another person replies, or it's one of the original guys on the thread from early, replies saying at Ethan Van Sciver, I think somebody's twittering him, February 13th, 2015. At Ethan, will you be doing commissions at MegaCon? If so, is there a list you'll be building ahead of time? Thank you. And Ethan replies on Twitter saying, sure, feel free to email me at blah blah blah. And then just crying fucking dude picture. Because it's Ethan accepting more commissions, knowing. He knows. He hasn't forgotten. He knows that he owes these people commissions. Someone says priceless. Somebody else says Van Sciver is wrong, in the wrong, plain and simple. I don't like his business practices one iota. Whoa, you're really roasting him. I am willing, somebody else says, I am willing to not draw your commission for half of what EVS is charging. Contact me now. I have limited availability to take your money and not do anything else.
Yeah, exactly. I think I said this before, too. This is quite the fucking racket. How do I get involved in this racket? You mean you can fucking just take people's money and not have to do anything? Holy shit. I want to be able to pull this fucking scam. How the fuck do I get involved in this?
A couple people fucking comment in the thread saying, oh, I got a commission from Ethan. He gave me a commission. Yeah, exactly.
Did you? Fuck off.
Anyways, Ethan eventually shows up around...
I can imagine eventually he'll make something. If he's too busy... Here's the thing. You're too fucking busy. Don't take all the work.
Don't take any more. Don't take any more. Finish the ones. Fuck. That's what.
I mean, if you're doing 7 pages,
even a furry,
you're doing a 20-page comic furries per month.
Have better fucking business practices. They have they're fucking more a furry artist is more reputable than Ethan Van Sciver, who by the way, Ethan Van Sciver's given away a few clues that he might be a secret furry, of course. But Ethan Van Sciver certainly is very familiar with furries.
Yay. First off,
he's gay. Second of all, just look at him. We got all this evidence. Anyways,
just being gay is damning enough.
Page 15, around like late March 2015, Ethan shows up saying, reading this thread is enlightening. I'm drawing everyone's commissions. I have about 15 to do, and I'm doing 1 per day, far beyond expectations. So he's
1 per day,
humble bragging as he's being a little cunt about it too, and also lying. That's just in the space of 2 sentences. People who paid for convention sketches are getting cover quality commissions from me, shipped promptly. Again, he turns this into an advertisement for himself. They're far and away the best drawings I've done, and I've enjoyed doing them, and certainly enjoyed pleasing the reaction for the customer.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
way he fucking. Why does he talk like that?
he
He talks
said,
like a fucking
then he
dolt.
goes, next sentence, he gives an excuse of having a divorce. Ha ha. And he said, I was very depressed and unable to do very much. But I wasn't aware that I was depressed. And
Then
it's like,
fucking tell people
yeah,
that.
yeah, then
Tell people I
say,
went through a divorce. It's a little tough.
well, you don't have to
Tough
say,
on me.
don't say I'm going through a divorce. It's fucking tough. I'm depressed. I don't feel good. Say, I got some problems in my life. I'll be a little late. Let them know. Hey, let them know right up front. Hey, I'm going to be late because of stuff in real life. People will absolutely let you slide, even if you're still scamming them. But the thing is, the first reply to this is good to hear. Can't wait to see how they turn out, Ethan. Again, people,
Ugh.
and we'll get into
Ugh.
this. We will get into this, but the next reply is, hope everyone gets good resolution here. Happy to hear of progress. Next one. Sorry to hear about the news, Ethan. Happy with the resolution here. Congrats, dude.
They're just
Wow, that's
marking
great.
him from
Glad it
now.
worked out. Some guy says that they got a fucking commission from. One person says that they finally got a commission from Ethan. They post it like, oh, that's great. We're glad it worked out in the end. I have to be logged in to see it, so it's not going to show up. Great looking,
Whatever. I don't care.
nice looking Punisher. It's like, oh, he did a commission of Punisher.
Whatever.
That's it.
Whatever.
Not even your
Whatever.
Sparkle Dog or anything like that. I'm not sure if I have seen any colored pieces from Ethan. Did you commission that way? Congrats. I've always been a fan of EVS art. Great to see he stepped up and making good on his commitments. That's an awesome looking Punisher. I hope this year's better for you, Ethan. Again, all these people were calling him a scam artist and a fucking fraud and a liar and saying he's breaking the law. You can call the be prepared to call the cops. I hope you have the cops on speed dial. And he makes one comment in the thread. And he says, it's great. Oh, you're wonderful. All of a sudden, they're fawning over him. This is the nature of the Capecuck. Somebody else says, though, I agree it's nice that EVS seems to be taking responsibility rather than blaming fans or other things. I don't expect that. That is nothing. Oh, he didn't blame the fans? Are you seriously supposed to be fucking happy about that? Oh, he didn't blame us, the fans. Does that make him a good person? And he,
Am I supposed to expect people to blame their fans
yes,
automatically and
for
then
ripping them
fucking
off.
drop to my fucking knees
But this guy does say,
in fucking tears of fucking pure joy?
and that's a point that you made about Comicsgate being cucked, is that Richard C. Meyer's criteria for a good Marvel comic was it didn't slander the entire male gender in this particular issue. There's only a few SJW things, so this Mark Waid comic, I'm suing Mark Waid, but here's a comic by him that's really good, so buy it. Make sure you buy it with real money.
I paid money for this Mark Waid comic.
And that's something you
Even
have
though
been saying, especially.
yeah.
That's a point you made, but also
Yeah.
our fans, our followers are really pointing that and hammering that home, that that Comicsgate are complete cucks because they consist of superhero comic fans. Superhero comics fans by nature are all cucks. They cannot help it. It's in their genetic makeup. They can never not be cucks. Even if they go through violent life changes, they will go simply from one kind of cuck to another kind of cuck. That is the most a superhero comic fan will change in their entire lifetime. If you gave them 200 years, they would still always be that. They can't help it, but they do deserve to be made fun of it and shamed for it.
Kind of like the scorpion and the frog.
Yes.
If the scorpion is just a fucking utter jerk off.
Why did you
pathetic loser?
Why did you become a cuck? Don't you know that now we will both be cucked? And the Comicsgate supporter says, I can't help it. It's in my nature. Anyways, this guy, though, he says that, but he points out, however, EVS, you must know that because this is at least the third time you've fallen off the commission wagon, that you've damaged Europe, and many fans and collectors are wary of commissioning you. I personally would not give you $1,000 to $1,500 in advance.
$1,000.
I know. They're giving him $1,000. They're giving him that much money? Seriously? You're giving Ethan that much money?
Was this a joke?
Hopefully you can get on a stretch and earn back some goodwill. First of all, if somebody has done this, there should be no earning back. This should be it. That should be the end.
Well,
You are a cuck. You are a fucking cuck if you even offer to give them back goodwill.
Just being late, I can fucking understand, earning back the goodwill for that. Sure. Just being late. But all the other shit, there's no forgiving that. It goes beyond everything.
So everyone at this point, they're either, and then Ethan says, thanks, I'm working on a massive 4-page spread for convergence. So I was like, can't wait to see all the gems. Your convergence arts have been insane. And this guy has been like a real white knight for him. And there's been a lot of excuses making, and in the thread at this point, it's been fucking like 1 page since Ethan has fucking replied. And all of a sudden, people are sucking his
like
dick.
All the time.
Yeah, people treat all artists like this all the time.
People about fucking
And I kind of understand. You want to, you kind of want, you want an artist to like you. If you like an artist's art, you kind of want them to like you. So sometimes you instinctively may fawn over them, especially when you haven't dealt with a lot of them. When you appreciate their stuff a lot. The thing is, you have to fucking nut up and stand up for yourself at some point, especially when you're getting fucking ass fucked. But these people are slapping his ass constantly after like 1 post in this thread, and people are like, Ethan says, I'll be shipping out a few drawings on Monday, and some guy's like, oh, I wonder if when's mine. And someone else is like, can anyone provide me with Ethan's email address? This entire thread has been about how he's a flake. He's a scam artist for the entire thread. And suddenly, this guy's like, can anyone supply? That's what the thread's about. It's about how it says, Ethan Van Sciver problems. And here's a guy saying, can anyone provide me with his address? I'd like to get in touch with him regarding a future convention. They're going into a fucking thread where he's ripped people off and saying, hey, I want to fucking give him money. Somebody's do that right fucking now.
I want to be next. I want to be next to get fucking ripped off.
Exactly. These people are fucking insane. These are the big, again, I almost would say that fucking weebs are the biggest cucks, but this right here shows that superhero comic fans are the biggest cucks. Period.
I fucking really don't
quantified.
Like anime. I hate anime, and I hate anime fans.
Anime fans are some of the biggest faggots on the planet.
Fall to this level.
Even they aren't this fucking cucked. But somebody says, can anyone provide me with his email address? Basically, they want to get ripped off. Some guy replies immediately saying, don't do it. Totally fed up with him, his lies and BS. And somebody replies to him saying, what happened, Lucy? Like, acting like the entire thread that they've gone just hasn't happened. The past 20 pages never happened.
Who hurt you?
Yes, exactly. In a thread called Ethan Van Sciver Problems, full of evidence against him. And somebody's like, who hurt you, Sweaty? And the guy says, he explains what the entire thread leading up to this point was about. He says, same he does to everyone, takes money and doesn't do commissions. Years go by and lie upon lie, still no art. And then somebody else says, I wouldn't trust EVS as far as I could throw him. It's funny, one person is like, oh, did you guys forget that Ethan's a scam artist? And all of a sudden people are like, yeah, he's a scam artist, all of a sudden. But this guy says, the guy who basically brought up the complaints again, almost out of fucking nowhere, after all the ass lapping, fucking this guy says, 7+ years, talked many times, always same story, I'll do them, all day is yours tomorrow, I'll do sweet pieces, they'll be beautiful, then nothing. Again, it's what he did in the behavior that this guy is describing right now is what Ethan just did in this thread, fully on display. He placated people, got them licking his fucking feet like the cucks that they are, and then just walked away. To leave them just forgetting that they were even pissed off. I'm
hoping at the very least they were saying that in the hopes one final chance they're going to give him to see if they got any.
Even that's fucking.
If he got the fucking work done.
This should have been the last chance, though.
When he did, yeah, that should have been the last chance. And I don't
Instead,
know.
there's another last chance after this.
How long does the thread go? Does it go on?
Well, now I'm at page 20.
You once again didn't say anything.
I'm at page 20 now. There's another 10 pages to go. And there's not much. I'll be skipping over some of it, but some guy says, yikes, 7 years, that's unbelievable. This is a 2015 yikes, of course. Yikes. It's a different kind of yikes. Yikes.
It's an actual legitimate reasoned, purposeful yikes, as opposed to retard yikes. One coupon for one free yike.
Somebody mentions, I guess somebody fucking mentioned the wife, and this guy says ex-wife, and someone says, discussing commission experience is fair game, but discussing his private life, marriage, divorce is outbounds in my book, even though Ethan Van Sciver was the one to bring up his private life and use that as an excuse. Somebody else says Van Sciver's on the list of three most dishonest artists I've had the displeasure of doing business with. That guy almost sounds like he's taking this too personally, but the thing is, he's right. Ethan is handing him objective correctness. Ethan has fully handed over correctness to this guy. What are you going to do about it? Take it back? You can't now.
I'm even forgiving all this shit, which is really shitty, bad business, unprofessional. But the fact that now Ethan Van Sciver is in charge of Comicsgate and he's gatekeeping. He's gatekeeping and not trying to keep social justice out of Comicsgate.
He's trying to keep it in.
Popular. He's trying to keep anyone who's not popular out of Comicsgate.
Someone mentions EVS and Spencer, and someone's like, "Oh no,
Richard clearly means Richard Spencer."
Richard Spencer. I don't know who Spencer is. People are like, "Oh no, they're not. They're very different." Spencer is a fucking okay guy or some shit. I don't know. Spencer is honest as the day is long. He's a great guy in my book. Blah blah. So they get a little sidetracked too.
This isn't about fucking either Van Sciver.
As for EVS, he's taken money from so many people. I'm quite confident law enforcement would view it as fraud. Ask for your refund, and if that fails, consider a discussion with law enforcement. They do not like people making false promises, taking money. Turns out if you do it in massive volume, it is often a crime. Someone else,
I'm surprised.
This ball licking guy on the forum says, "I hope it doesn't come to this for the sake of everyone involved."
Yeah, I sure hope that it doesn't come to actually prosecuting the guy who's clearly guilty.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't come to being responsible for the fucking people. Because again...
this person just murdered a child. Hope they never get caught.
I had forgotten about EVS confronting Granito. I remember finding it ironic he would take up the charge on Granito with all his detractors about failed commissions, and after recalling the story, it strikes me as peculiar. They would take up the charge of other artists and collectors in the Granito case, and 4+ years later, still has many unhappy collectors knocking at his door. Now, why is Ethan getting other people banned from a fucking convention, too? That's really weird. And again, I don't know the story. Here's a Bleeding Cool article about it, but I won't fucking even trust Bleeding Cool with it that much. And but what it sounds like, Ethan got an artist banned from conventions for doing what Ethan was doing. Now, people in Comicsgate are talking about, oh, it's wrong to ban people from conventions. And it's like, well, then why aren't you getting on Ethan about that? Here's another fucking person. I contacted BC. I'm well aware of an artist in which law enforcement got involved. Here's a funny story. I'm well aware of an artist in which law enforcement got involved as he's taken numerous commissions, and one of the folks spoke to the crime fraud unit, which paid a visit to the artist. 2 days later, the fan received his commission, which was good, as he had an appointment to sign a formal complaint with the detectives. And that's a funny thing.
Oh, man. Well, close call.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like this artist is dodging him. Then all of a sudden, the guy gets his art when the fucking cops are called. And again, this fucking certain ball licker says, let's hope it doesn't come to this for the sake of everyone involved. For the sake of Ethan. So you want to defend Ethan. You don't want Ethan to face the consequences, basically. Someone says, I contacted BC. I don't know what BC is, actually. British Columbia, I guess. Let's hope it doesn't come to this for the sake of everyone involved. Somebody replies saying, if it does, the artist has no one to blame but himself. Again, this is 10 fucking pages later, after Ethan shows up, they go from fucking shit talking him to licking his balls to going back to shit talking him like fucking in 10-page fucking intervals. I think the only way to stop this from continuing is for a lawsuit to be filed against one of these artists that takes money up front and won't deliver. See, the thing is, Ethan Price still owes all of these commissions that people are trying to get him. Some people. Okay, here's a guy says, update, received refund today. Not sure what prompted it all this time. Ethan actually replies saying, what prompted it is that I had the money. I'm due commissions. Yours was first. So now what Ethan does, this is another game he does that he's doing with the Cyberfrog comments, is people are like, hey, you're late with Cyberfrog, where is it? And he's like, it's coming out right now. Do you want it or not? So he acts like a little cunt, but he also acts like if you get a refund, you're gonna miss out. That's how a scam artist strings you along. Is, well, okay, you didn't want it, you wanted a refund. Okay, I was gonna do the commissions, and again, this is now in fucking July of 2015. So this is fucking months and months after the thread started. This is almost a year later. And Ethan's finally being like, hey, I'm doing the commissions. Clearly he wasn't. But then he's like, well, I guess you didn't want it. So he's like trying to guilt the commissioners for asking for a refund. But someone says, glad you got your money back. This guy says, again, Ethan shows up. All of a sudden, this guy who was complaining about Ethan calling him a scam artist says, thank you, Ethan. I did post down here that you made good. Ask for names of others you owed, and we're going to get work. So one guy gets his fucking refund. And other people. And this guy, again, to everyone owed or following through, Ethan Van Sciver has risen from the ashes like a phoenix. This guy was complaining, bitching bitterly about Ethan for months before this in this thread. And all of a sudden, he's like, Ethan's rise from and ashes like a phoenix. And it's very weird. Somebody else says, are we, again, this guy who I think is really bitter. Are we honestly to expect it took Ethan 78 years to finally come up with the money to provide a refund? I'm calling bullshit. Why was there this beyond extended wait to begin with? Ethan, with all the time you spent on Facebook, couldn't you have taken a short break in the last couple of years? Again, Ethan, he was wasting all this time on Facebook. Now he just makes YouTube videos about fucking Brie, fucking whoever the fuck. Brie cheese. Brie, it's a soft cheese.
Brie Larson and also Star Wars.
Yeah, Brie Larson in Star Wars instead of doing commissions and finishing fucking Cyberfrog. But and here, this one of the last fucking posts in the entire thread. It's actually a few pages left, but one of the last says, "This is the wishy-washiest thread on Statue Forum. I have never commissioned EVS or have personal animosity against him, but it seems whenever people really start complaining about overdue commissions or expected refunds, all EVS has to do is pop in and make a comment or two, and all is good and it can." Up and down like a pogo stick, just my 2 cents, but the negatives seem to outweigh the positives here. I represent Michael Finn for keeping the same stance regardless. I'm staying away. Somebody else replies to that saying, I'm glad there's resolution making these affected happy and satisfied, but I tend to agree with this guy. And so, other people like the next page, any updates, haven't received mine yet, so other people still owed commissions or refunds. Another person says I still haven't received mine. I've seen pics, but nothing in terms of shipping and communication. This is fucking September 2015. Somebody else said, the fucking ball licker says he's been on a monthly, so he's probably gotten really busy. And somebody replies to him saying, Ethan needs to hire you as his agent. You shouldn't be doing his job for free. But that's the reality of Comicsgate. Comicsgate does this for free every day, where they are ball licking Ethan constantly. They're his pathetic sycophant. Comicsgate will never be anything more than Ethan Van Sciver's pathetic sycophants. For as long as they live, this will be the height of their lives. Was white knighting for a fat boomer who was ripping people off, and they're doing it for free. Comicsgate, you're doing it for free. You know who else was doing it for free? The fucking janitors. And they fucking for V on during Gamergate, and they took it very seriously as they were sticking their dick in hot pockets like the incel losers that you are. Somebody else says, I'm not doing anything other than conveying a possible reason for the delay. My info comes from Facebook, lol. Someone replies saying, that still seems to be more than what he's doing, unfortunately. Again, this guy is a fucking complete ball washer for Ethan and just making excuse after excuse. And even some of these people on this board, as much as they fucking are constantly being fucking sycophants, they are still they're going back and forth constantly. Ethan shows up for 1 second and they forget they were mad, but time passes and they remember again. So they're fucking, at least some of them are remembering that they were, what the problem was in the first place. And there's still other people in this thread saying, I still haven't gotten my refund, haven't gotten my commission, haven't gotten a response. Somebody else says he can't be so busy that he can't hit the post office. Someone says, mine has been done since the beginning of April. 5 months just to ship. I got lambasted by a guy on the CGG forums for the 5 days it took me to ship some art I sold. I'm patient, but it's aggravating when you have to wait long for paid pieces. So the last thread, page 30, or the last page of the thread is page 30. It's early 2016. Somebody else says, every time I ask him, he says he's going to do it that day. Last time was 2 weeks ago. Still nothing. Going on a year. Somebody else says, or the same guy replies a couple weeks later saying he refunded me the money after an email asking for one. I said between his DC work and his new baby, or I said between his DC work and his new baby, he'll never have time to do it. Refund came. Somebody else says right on, and then somebody else says everyone get their pieces, question mark, no reply, end of thread. So yeah, that's again from 2015, Ethan ripping off a lot of people. He gave some of them refunds, some of them stopped
token
asking.
Refund.
Yeah. And it looks like he finished a couple of commissions. I think just to placate people and make it look like he actually does the work. He knows, okay, I'll throw them one, and they'll fucking lick my fucking balls again. And they did.
Exactly.
He was right.
And they do. In fact, not only did they do that for a while after this, they apparently kept doing it all the way into Comicsgate.
All the way into Comicsgate. So yeah, this is again
still got his own fucking followers, and the cycle continues yet again.
Yes, and it will continue. After this, it will continue with as long as there are superhero fans, there will be cucks who you can completely manipulate. And Ethan, the thing is, I almost don't feel sorry for them. Ethan knows he can fuck them, and they don't do anything about it. They'll complain. They'll go on message boards. Some of them will fucking ask for a refund. And I do feel bad for them. But the fact that so many will fucking do it for free, as they say in Gamergate, all these Comicsgate people doing it for free, I don't feel sorry for any of them. Because they're not fucking trying to get commissions or refunds. They're fucking being his hug box in exchange for nothing. And that is why Comicsgate could never win.
I really have to... You do kind of have to ask the question, what did they get out of it? They're not getting drawings, and they're not getting to keep their money.
They're also not getting any good comics. They're getting Cyberfrog, a comic that will suck. We know that it's obvious. In fact, we've seen the preview. The preview sucks.
The only thing I can even think of is that they're fucking such fucking ass kissers, fucking uncomfortable.
By nature. That's the nature of them as human beings is that they are ass kissers to fucking D-listers. They're nothing.
I mean, they're worshipping minor celebrity. Yeah. And that's it. And not even a celebrity that treats them well. Celebrity that shits all over them.
Imagine if Mundane Matt had a rapid fan base to this day. Imagine that. That's pretty much what Comicsgate is. That's what the movement is. It's not even a movement. It's just a hug box. And I even said this to Ethan, and he fucking walked away. He was like, I'm not even going to respond to that, because he knew I was right.
He's not going to respond to it because he doesn't have an answer.
Yes.
I think it was actually Revenge of the Sis who was pointing out some of the common attempts to, like, when you don't have an answer, one of the things you do is you ask a question.
Yeah, you
Again,
ask an unrelated
something
question.
like that.
Yeah, changing the subject, re-asking the question, and then answering your own question that's not related. That kind of shit. Yeah, that's what you do when you don't have an answer. And Ethan didn't have he had a suspicious lack of
When
answers
you're
to a lot of
lying,
things I
you're
brought up.
lying and
Yes.
you're trying to figure out how to tell the lie to make yourself look better.
And Comicsgate isn't even, they don't even want to know if they're being lied to. That is one of the most pathetic things about Comicsgate. It's not even a matter of looking for lying, it's that they don't want to know. They're afraid. They are weak. They're afraid, they're terrified because they are weak people on a
It's
fucking
fucked up, but
emotional, intellectual, and genetic level.
this wouldn't bother me, but they're just throwing money at him.
Yeah.
I'd be able
That
to
could go
just
to
ignore.
actual interesting,
I
funny,
wouldn't care.
talented people. It could go towards actual talented people in comics. Instead, it's going to people who actually like superhero comics.
There's a lot of people who need that money. That money needs to go to them.
Yeah. And Ethan doesn't. Yeah, Ethan does not need any of this money. He doesn't need 1 cent of this money to make Cyberfrog. He could have made Cyberfrog already without
He
even
could have
getting paid.
started his own. He could have taken out a loan or some shit. I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, I don't care. I don't really care. I don't care what he does. He doesn't deserve 1 cent. Doesn't matter what he does.
He could start his own version of Comixology, and it's like, you know, it'll be like I don't know, DeviantArt. It's like, here, make your own comics. We're going to be like a comic book clearinghouse or some shit like that, or like
whatever. That's
Egra,
just a fucking idea.
Not Egra, but the fucking other. What was the fucking place that had the fucking shitty ass Ojoy sex toy and shit like that?
I mean, like Slipshine.
Yeah.
Almost threw up just thinking about that comic, of course.
Just almost wanted to vomit.
But yeah, like not a clearinghouse, but like a fucking storage house, like an independent like an actual independent publisher. Ethan's running a fake publisher that's not actually publishing anything.
They're not even trying, though.
It's like Splato Comics, where he's not actually a publisher. He's just putting the name of a fake company that can go up onto the cover of his comic and act like, yeah, this is my new company.
It was so lame. His original idea for that was like, I'm going to fucking get it sold in the comic book shops. And it's like, why would you do that? They're dying. First off, they're dying. And secondly, you know they're going to stop you. They're not going to try to stop you. They will stop you.
Your comic will help kill them. Jawbreaker's Lost Souls, if it was sold in comic stores, would fucking annihilate the remaining comic stores. They would go broke trying to stock and ship your fucking stupid, boring, shittily written, terrible, sucky John incompetent Malin art fucking
It's
comic.
the same reason why comics are already dying. It's because the fucking material is absolute. It's not even dog food. I won't feed this to my worst enemy.
It's not
I
even
won't
food.
give these comics to my worst enemy.
It's like a purse. A purse is not food. You can't eat a purse.
And they're just he's trying to make more of that and then put it in the comic. Like, they don't have enough pulp.
Yeah. Yeah, you could go to any comic store and you'll find shelves and shelves of unsellable, unreadable dog shit. And Ethan and Richard and fucking all the other people in Comicsgate, their solution is to make more of that.
Made like a dozen videos complaining about that very thing, about how they fucking oversell.
When he wasn't doing videos reading fucking tweets. When he wasn't reading tweets for a half hour by SJWs, he was doing videos about that. Good job, faggots.
And then his solution is to do exactly that, but without Marvel on the cover.
Anyways, so that wraps up the thread. The thread just fizzles out with a couple people getting. One person got their commission. A few people got their refunds. The rest just gave up. That's Ethan Van Sciver years before Comicsgate. And now
this is an important fucking thread. This is an important fucking video.
Yeah.
It's something we've made reference to several times before.
This is literally more,
we will continue to.
This is literally more important than any video by every single person in Comicsgate combined. Anyone who's ever been in Comicsgate or ever claimed to be a part of Comicsgate combined. We are the only ones telling you the truth that Comicsgate wants to cover up because Comicsgate is full of lying sycophants who are caught. And they are validating SJWs, the SJWs that we were against before anyone in Comicsgate. Before Comicsgate ever happened, we were against SJWs far more, and we've had way more effect on target than any of them ever did. In fact, everything Comicsgate did against the social justice, we did first and better. And we fucking even have proof to show it. Comicsgate is a derivative echo, a parrot echo of us. At best.
Yeah,
that's giving them too much credit.
Our evidence is on our 8chan. It's in our Discord. We got videos too. A lot of old videos.
We have a lot of old fans who read our blog who could fucking vouch for it too. The blog itself, of course, was deplatformed by social justice before any of you whiny little bitches in Comicsgate ever started acting like, oh, the SJWs are attacking us. Before you started false flagging yourselves in stupid, quantifiably false fucking claims of getting doxxed or having CPS called on you. You're lying about fucking SJWs calling CPS on your fucking dumb kids. Anyways, so, if you want to support the actual truth in comics fucking better than any social justice or Comicsgate shill cuck losers, you could support us by just fucking, I don't know, do anything. Just give us money. Just give us money for telling the truth. But also, we make comics that are way better than everyone in Comicsgate combined, all the social justice, pretty much most indie shit. We're on the next level. We're fucking making the real next level of comics, and we've been doing it since before Comicsgate too. So, all of this very deserved bragging and gloating, which is a sin, of course. It's a sin. It's on par with our usual behavior. So make sure to unlike, reshare, uncomment. Make sure you're still unsubscribed. Don't hit the bell for don't notifications. And then give us money. Go to patreon.com/smuglady. Give us money just for this. Just for videos. Or to fund then fucking the next level of comics, if you want to do that. I mean, hey, that's up to you. We also have Ko-fi, which no one really uses. I don't know if anyone uses Ko-fi anymore. Patreon works at least.
But fucking it should still work.
Yes. Also, still planning to make issue 2 of literally the highly anticipated, the comic that actually came out. Cyberfrog still hasn't come out, but fucking literally did.
Outsold all of Comicsgate already.
Yeah, literally #1 has already outsold Cyberfrog and Jawbreaker's Lost Souls on Comixology. I wonder how that happened.
On Comixology and any other digital distribution service
also on
that you
Gumroad.
can think of.
All of them combined, even. But
I need a break now.
Yeah.
Fucking.
This is an extra long video, but it's also very necessary. So, anyways,
It was very worthwhile.
Make sure to. I don't know. We don't really care if you subscribe or not. I don't fucking give a shit. But oh yeah, that's right. Our forced catchphrase also shoulda listened to SWC.